Last winter, a plumber quoted my neighbor $340 to fix a running toilet. The actual problem? A 90-cent rubber flapper he could have swapped in 4 minutes. That is the dirty secret of the repair world. Half of what they charge you for is knowledge they are betting you do not have. Number 14 on this list can stop a windshield crack from crawling across your whole car for the price of something already in your bathroom drawer. And number 1, the fix at the very top, is why HVAC techs quietly love winter. These are 20 poor man's fixes so cheap and so effective, they make $500 repair bills look like daylight robbery. Before we start, hit that subscribe button, because the next fix might be the one that saves you a small fortune. Let us count down the 20 smartest repairs the professionals hope you never learn. Number 20, baking soda for a corroded car battery. You turn the key on a cold morning and get nothing but a sad click. Pop the hood, and there it is, that crusty blue-green fuzz eating the battery terminals. A tow plus a shop diagnosis runs you $150 before anyone even touches a wrench, and half the time they just sell you a new battery you did not need. The fix costs about a nickel. Disconnect the terminals, mix a tablespoon of baking soda with a splash of water into a paste, and scrub that corrosion off with an old toothbrush. It fizzes as the alkaline soda neutralizes the acid that built up. Wipe it clean, dry it, smear a little petroleum jelly on the posts to stop it coming back, and reconnect. Suddenly the car that was dead fires right up. That fuzz was never a dead battery. It was just a bad connection, choking the current. A box of baking soda costs $1 and fixes this 100 times over. Number 19, a bar of soap for sticking doors and drawers. Every house has that one drawer that screams every time you open it, or the back door that swells shut in the summer humidity and needs a shoulder to close. Call a handyman, and you are looking at a minimum service charge of $90 to plane a door that did not need planing. The old-timer fix lives in your bathroom. Take a dry bar of soap and rub it hard along the drawer runners, the door edge, or the wooden slides where the wood has swollen. The soap leaves a waxy film that fills the microscopic grooves and lets the wood glide instead of grab. Contractors have done this quietly for 100 years while charging for something fancier. One pass, and that drawer whispers open. A single bar lasts for years and works on window sashes, sliding closet doors, and squeaky cabinet hinges too. Your grandfather kept a worn-down sliver of ivory in his toolbox for exactly this reason, and he never once paid a man to fix a sticky drawer. Number 18, WD-40 or cooking oil for a seized hinge. That deep groan the front door makes at 2 in the morning. The shriek of the gate every time the wind moves it. The cabinet that sounds like a horror movie. People actually replace hinges over this, or pay a handyman $75 to walk in with a can of spray they bought for $4. Hit the hinge pin with a shot of WD-40, work the door back and forth a few times, and wipe the drips. If you are out of spray, a drop of cooking oil or even lip balm on the pin does the same job in a pinch. The lubricant works its way into the barrel of the hinge, where metal grinds on rusted metal, and the noise dies instantly. For a hinge that is truly seized, tap the pin out, rub it with steel wool to strip the rust, oil it, and drop it back in. 10 minutes, no parts, no charge. The whole house goes quiet and you keep your $75. Number 17, white vinegar for a weak, clogged shower head. Your shower used to blast. Now it dribbles, and half the little jets fire sideways at the wall. Most people assume the pipes are bad and call a plumber, who charges $125 to tell you the water pressure is fine. Your shower head is just full of limescale. Here is the fix for $1. Fill a sandwich bag with white vinegar, slip it over the shower head so the whole thing is submerged, and tie it in place with a rubber band. Leave it overnight. The acetic acid dissolves the crusty white mineral buildup, clogging every nozzle. In the morning, pull the bag off, run the water hot for a minute to flush it, and scrub any stubborn jets with an old toothbrush. That sideways spraying trickle roars back to a full spray like the head is brand new. Hard water homes should do this every few months. It costs pennies, and it is the exact same thing a plumber does before handing you a bill with a service call on it. Number 16, dish soap and hot water for a slow drain. The tub takes forever to empty, and you are standing in 3 inches of gray water by the end of a shower. Before you dial a drain company that charges $200 just to show up, reach under the kitchen sink. Squirt a generous glug of dish soap straight down the slow drain. Then follow it with a kettle of near-boiling water poured in a steady stream. The soap acts as a lubricant, and the hot water melts the greasy gunk and soap scum coating the inside of the pipe, the stuff that catches hair and slows everything down. You will hear the drain suddenly gulp and clear. For a bathroom drain choked with hair, bend a wire coat hanger into a little hook first, fish out the clog, then chase it with the soap and hot water. 2 minutes, no chemicals, no plumber. Drain services count on you not knowing that most slow drains are just a warm water problem. Number 15, toothpaste for foggy, yellowed headlights. Your headlights have gone cloudy and yellow. That milky haze that kills your night vision and makes an 8-year-old car look like a beater. Walk into a dealership and they will happily sell you a new headlight assembly for $300 or more per side. First pattern break, and this one is a genuine markup scam. The haze is just oxidized plastic on the surface, and you can cut right through it with the tube in your bathroom. Squeeze a blob of regular whitening toothpaste onto a damp cloth and scrub the lens in firm circles for a few minutes per light. The mild grit in the toothpaste is a polish, sanding away that oxidized top layer. Wipe it clean and watch years of cloudiness disappear. The plastic goes clear, the light shines bright again, and you just saved $600 with something that cost $1. Seal it with a coat of car wax so it lasts. Dealers know this works. They are just betting you do not. Number 14, clear nail polish to stop a windshield chip. A rock kicks up on the highway and cracks the glass with that heart-sinking tick. Leave it, and the crack creeps across your whole windshield until you are staring at a $400 replacement. The emergency fix costs whatever a bottle of clear nail polish costs, and half of you already own one. As soon as you can, clean the chip, let it dry, and brush clear nail polish right into the crack, working it into the crevice and letting it seal over the top. The polish fills the void and holds the glass together, stopping moisture and temperature swings from spreading the damage while you save up for a proper repair. It is not permanent, but it can freeze a chip in place for months. Body shops and glass companies rely on that crack spreading because a chip is a cheap repair and a full crack is a whole new windshield. A $1 bottle can be the difference between the two. Number 13. A rubber band for a stripped screw. You are halfway through a repair and the screw head is chewed to nothing. The driver just spins uselessly. This is the moment people give up, call someone, or drill the whole thing out and make it worse. The fix is a wide rubber band. Lay a flat rubber band over the stripped screw head, press the screwdriver down hard into it, and turn slowly. The rubber fills the gap between the mangled head and the bit, biting into both and giving you just enough grip to back the screw out. It feels like magic the first time you watch a ruined screw start to move. Steel wool jammed in the head works too, or a dab of valve grinding compound if you have it. This one trick has saved countless people from turning a 5-minute job into an afternoon with a drill and an extractor kit. The professionals learned it as apprentices. Now you know it too, for free. Number 12, cornstarch for a squeaky hardwood floor. That one board in the hallway announces every midnight trip to the kitchen. Flooring guys will quote you hundreds to pull boards, add fasteners, and refinish the patch. Most squeaks do not need any of that. The noise is 2 pieces of wood rubbing together, and you can silence them with powder. Sprinkle cornstarch, baby powder, or powdered graphite over the squeaky seam. Then work it down into the cracks between the boards with a soft brush or a cloth. The fine powder slips into the joint and acts as a dry lubricant, cushioning the wood so it stops rubbing and creaking. Sweep up the excess. The board that has driven you crazy for years goes silent for the cost of a scoop of cornstarch from the pantry. It is the same principle the pros use with graphite, just cheaper, and nobody has to touch your beautiful floor with a pry bar. Number 11. Vinegar for a dying coffee maker. Your coffee comes out lukewarm, the machine sputters and takes forever, and you are already eyeing a replacement. Before you spend $80 on a new one, run vinegar through the one you have. Fill the reservoir with a mix of equal parts white vinegar and water. Run it through a full brew cycle with no filter. Let it sit halfway through for a few minutes. Then finish. Follow it with 2 or 3 cycles of plain water to rinse. The vinegar dissolves the layer of hard water scale caked inside the heating element and tubes. The same buildup that was strangling the flow and killing the heat. Your machine brews hot and fast again, like the day you bought it. Manufacturers know most coffee makers do not die, they just calcify, and a calcified machine sells more coffee makers. Do this once a month in a hard water house, and a cheap drip machine will outlive 3 of your neighbor's replacements. Number 10. A plunger for a car door dent. Someone dings your door in a parking lot, or a stray ball leaves a dent in a smooth body panel, and the body shop wants $500 for paintless dent removal. If the dent is shallow and the paint is not cracked, you might pop it out yourself for nothing. Wet the rim of a clean cup plunger and the dented panel. Press the plunger flat over the dent and pull straight out with a firm, steady yank. The suction grabs the metal and can snap a shallow dent right back into shape with a satisfying pop. For dents on a plastic bumper, pour boiling water over the area to soften the plastic. Then push it back out from behind with your hand. Neither trick works on every dent, but when it works, it turns a $500 estimate into a 2-minute driveway job. Worst case, you are out nothing and you call the shop anyway. Best case, the neighbors think you know a guy. Number 9. The reset button on your garbage disposal. Your disposal hums but will not spin, or it goes completely dead, and you are picturing a plumber pulling the whole unit. Second pattern break, because this is the one that makes plumbers the most money for the least work. On the bottom of nearly every disposal, underneath the sink, there is a little red reset button. When the motor overloads and trips, it pops out and the whole unit plays dead. Push it back in and 9 times out of 10, the disposal roars back to life. If it just hums, kill the power at the switch, find the hex hole on the bottom of the unit, and turn the included wrench or an Allen key back and forth to free the jammed flywheel, then hit reset. A plumber will happily charge $150 to walk in, press a button you did not know existed, and leave. Now you will never pay that bill. Number 8. Baking soda and vinegar for a clogged drain. The sink is backed up, and every ad on the radio is for a chemical drain cleaner or a $250 rooter service. For most kitchen and bathroom clogs, you never need either. Pour a half cup of baking soda down the drain, chase it with a cup of white vinegar, and immediately cover the drain with a stopper to force the reaction down instead of up. It foams and fizzes like a school volcano, and that pressure plus the abrasive soda breaks apart the greasy plug in the pipe. Let it work for 15 minutes, then flush with a kettle of boiling water. Harsh chemical cleaners actually eat away at older pipes over time, so this gentler fix is safer for your plumbing and free. It will not clear a solid blockage deep in the line, but for the everyday slow and smelly drain, it clears it and deodorizes at the same time for about a quarter's worth of pantry staples. Number 7. Ketchup or vinegar for tarnished fixtures. Your brass door handles, copper pots, and bathroom fixtures have gone dark and grimy, and you are tempted to just replace them. New fixtures run $40 to $100 a piece, and an installer wants a fee on top. The condiment aisle does it for pennies. Smear plain ketchup over tarnished brass or copper. Let it sit for 15 minutes, then rub it off with a cloth. The vinegar and mild acids in the tomato dissolve the tarnish and leave the metal gleaming. For faucets and chrome, a paste of vinegar and salt or vinegar and baking soda cuts through years of water spots and dulling. The fixture you were about to throw out looks showroom new. Hardware stores make good money on replacement fixtures that were never actually broken, just dirty. A $1 bottle of vinegar restores a whole house full of them, and you keep the fixtures that were probably better quality than the new ones anyway. Number 6. Pipe insulation to prevent a burst pipe. This is the fix that saves you not hundreds but thousands, and almost nobody does it until it is too late. Third pattern break, because a burst pipe is the most expensive repair on this whole list, and it is entirely preventable for a few dollars. When a cold snap hits, an exposed pipe in the garage, crawl space, or an outside wall can freeze, expand, and split, flooding your home and handing you a 5-figure water damage bill. Foam pipe insulation sleeves cost about $3 for a 6-foot length at any hardware store. Slit them over your exposed pipes before winter, and you are done. On the coldest nights, let a faucet drip a slow trickle, because moving water is far harder to freeze, and open the cabinet doors under sinks on exterior walls to let warm air reach the pipes. $3 of gray foam versus a ruined kitchen ceiling and a soaked living room. The insurance adjusters see this bill every single January. Number 5. Candle wax for anything sticky. That window that will not slide, the dresser drawer that fights you, the zipper on your favorite jacket that jams every time. People toss perfectly good jackets and pay to fix windows over these. The fix is a candle stub or a bar of paraffin. Rub wax along the window channels, the drawer runners, or straight over the teeth of a stubborn zipper. Then work it back and forth to spread the wax into the track. The wax coats the surfaces so they glide instead of grabbing. A pencil works on a zipper too, because the graphite in the lead is a dry lubricant. So scribble the pencil tip right over the teeth. That window you had propped open with a book for 2 years suddenly slides with one finger. It is the kind of tiny fix that makes your whole house feel less broken, and it costs you a candle you were never going to burn anyway. Number 4. Aluminum foil for weak remotes and rusty chrome. 2 fixes for the price of a sheet of foil. When your TV remote or a kid's toy gets weak and flickery, and you are sure the batteries are fine, the problem is usually a broken or corroded spring in the battery compartment. Fold a tiny square of aluminum foil and wedge it between the spring and the battery to bridge the gap and complete the circuit. The remote springs back to full life, and you never buy that overpriced replacement remote. The second use is even better. To scrub rust off chrome on a bumper, a bike, or an old faucet, crumple a piece of foil. Dip it in water or cola and scrub the rusty spots. The aluminum is softer than the chrome, so it lifts the rust without scratching the finish underneath. What looked like ruined, pitted metal comes back shiny. $2 of foil replaces a remote you would have paid $20 for, and a re-chroming job that runs into the hundreds. Number 3. Vinegar and the filter for a dying dishwasher. Your dishes come out gritty and spotted, the machine smells swampy, and the appliance tech you called shakes his head and says it is on its way out, quotes you a repair that costs nearly as much as a new unit. 4th pattern break, and this is where appliance techs make a killing on machines that are perfectly healthy. Pull out the bottom rack and find the filter at the base of the tub, a twist-lock cylinder most people do not know exists. It is packed with old food, grease, and gunk. Rinse it under the tap, scrub it with an old toothbrush, and drop it back in. Then set a cup of white vinegar upright on the top rack and run a hot cycle empty. The vinegar blasts out the grease and hard water scale, clogging the spray arms and lines. Your dying dishwasher cleans like new and smells fresh. That clogged filter was the whole problem, and now you know to rinse it every few weeks for free. Number 2. The dollar bill test for a broken refrigerator. Your fridge is running constantly, the motor never seems to rest, and your electric bill is creeping up. Everyone assumes the compressor is failing and starts pricing new refrigerators at $1,000 and up. 2 cheap checks fix the vast majority of these. First, the door seal. Close the door on a dollar bill and try to pull it out. If it slides free easily, the gasket is not sealing. Warm air is leaking in, and the fridge runs non-stop to keep up. Warm the gasket with a hairdryer to reshape it. Clean it with warm soapy water so it grips again, and the seal tightens right up. Second, the condenser coils on the back or underneath are probably choked with dust and pet hair, which chokes the cooling and roasts the motor. Unplug it, vacuum the coils clean, and the fridge suddenly cools efficiently and quiets down. A $1 bill and a vacuum instead of a new refrigerator. Number 1. The furnace filter. The Fix HV AC Techs pray you never learn. The heat quits on the coldest night of the year, or the air conditioner freezes into a block of ice in July, and you make the emergency call. The tech arrives, charges you a $150 service fee just to walk in the door, sometimes far more, and then, out of your sight, swaps a filthy $10 air filter you did not know needed changing. That is it. That is the whole repair. A clogged filter starves the system of airflow. In winter, the furnace overheats and shuts itself off as a safety measure, so you get no heat. In summer, the coil ices over, so you get no cold air. Both look like a dead system to a homeowner, and both are cured by sliding out the gray cardboard filter and sliding in a fresh one every couple of months. It takes 30 seconds and costs less than a sandwich. Do it on a schedule and you may go years without ever needing that service call. This one fix, done regularly, is worth more than every other trick on this list combined. So there they are, 20 poor man's fixes that turn a $500 bill into pocket change. Try one this week, then come back and tell me which repair you dodged. Because the pros were never selling you a repair. They were selling you the fact that you did not know. Now you do.